Good. So, what should we do today? I was thinking about what should we do, and to be quite frank with you, I very often do with you guys what feel I need for myself in that moment. I mean, any meditation is helpful, isn't it? But if the leader's kind of very engaged, I think that does make a difference. So, I thought I would do a flow meditation this evening. So, this is where we come into our experience. And then we realize how everything's changing all the time and how so much of our experience of stress and suffering and difficulty is that we're resisting that innately fluid aspect of experience. And we start kind of pushing and shoving, things that we don't like, we rigidify around it and we push it away. And that makes it worse and difficult. And things that we do like, we think, oh, I want more of it. And we rigidify around it and grab hold of it and start chasing. And that doesn't lead to great things either. But if we can be present, receive experience fully, whatever it is, whether it's unpleasant or pleasant, just kind of receive it into a loving quality of presence and then inhibit this automatic reactivity that we so quickly do. Inhibit that by simply staying inside experience, feeling its fluid nature. So we let things in, we let things flow through, we receive experience, we let it go, we receive experience, we let it go. And that is really, the times when I'm able to drop into that. It's such a wonderful way of living. It's so much better than the pushy, shovey way of living that we're so good at. Getting very sort of tangled up with experience and having a very sticky mind. So this is having a kind of Teflon mind is what we're going to be practicing tonight. Maybe we can call it the Teflon mind meditation. Good. Okay, so let's begin by settling into our position. So you can do it sitting, you can do it lying down, you could do it standing. It's completely up to you. And but the main thing, and I often say this, the main thing is that we're intentional about how we position the body. So much of the time, we just kind of hurl our body about or we slump into familiar positions. And we don't think, is this position going to be as comfortable as possible for the next little while? And I know for some of us here, comfort is not possible, but being as comfortable as possible is possible. So just spending time doing that. And I should say as well, if there's anyone here for the first time this week, then really, really warm welcome to you. And really, you just have to follow along as best you can. Don't need to remember anything because the meditation will be guided. Okay, good. So closing the eyes if that's comfortable. You could lower your gaze, it's up to you. But I quite like closing my eyes. I like the sense of it's like my external senses are closing down a little bit or being a little bit less active, and I can settle. But I know for some of us, closing our eyes is not very settling, in which case you could just have a soft gaze. And allowing the weight of the body to rest down into the support beneath us, whether you're sitting, whether you're lying, whether you're standing. So beginning to have a felt sense of yielding the weight of the body up to the support and arriving and settling a little bit more. And to help this, if you want to, you could take a few deeper in breaths and then with each out breath, release and let go a little bit more. Then let the next in breath flow back in its own time. And when you're ready, allowing your breathing to settle and to find its own natural rhythm. Continuing to see if there can be a quality of settling, particularly with each out breath, letting the body rest into the support. And I like to make the distinction between resting into the support beneath us versus perching on top of it. With perching, there's always a quality of tension present. But if we can rest into the support, then perhaps there can be a greater quality of ease. So we don't need to grip onto the body the way we normally do. We can allow it to be held. And as we release the weight downwards, there may be a corresponding sense of openness arising in the body, in the torso, shoulders, neck, head. It's a bit when we soften gripping, which keeps everything tight and small. It's a bit like the whole body can breathe out and be a little bit bigger, occupy a bit more space, so we can release into length, into space. It's effortless, not doing anything, not trying to release, because of course that will just create more tension. But it's as if we yield down and then soften into length and space in the whole body. What we're going to do now is guide our awareness down through the whole body. And we'll look for this fluid quality in all the different parts of the body. This body that can seem so static and rigid, even stuck. When we go right inside, we can rest inside the fact that everything is changing. Even the bones change every 7 years in the human skeleton. But of course the blood is flowing, the breath is flowing, sensations are flowing. It can be very liberating to rest inside a fluid sense of the body rather than a rigid, stuck, maybe painful sense of the body. So to begin with, let's allow our awareness to pour out of the head, flow down through the body, down through the hips, down through the legs, all the way to the feet. And seeing if we can allow our awareness to rest right inside the feet. So rather than looking at the feet from the outside or having a bird's eye view or thinking about the feet, we're resting right inside. And the feet will be becoming known to us through sensation, which might be intense or might be very, very subtle or dull. So there might be buzzing, tingling, a sense of warmth, a sense of coolness. Might be unpleasant sensations, might be pleasant sensations. Seeing if we can let go of automatically closing down around the unpleasant, pushing against it, or chasing after the pleasant. We just receive experience fully into awareness and then we let it go. So we're vividly alive, but without resistance or grasping. And the awareness that receives the experience is warm and kind and loving. Now allowing awareness to flow through the ankles and into the lower legs. Again, being aware of sensation, warmth, coolness, intensity, dullness, burning, whatever it is, feel into its fluid and changing nature. And rather than being so dominated by the discomfort or whatever it is, we rest in awareness itself. This loving field of awareness that receives experience and lets it go. And coming up to the knees and the thighs. And depending on our posture, the thighs might be in contact with support beneath them. If we're sitting, it'll be the back of the thighs yielding into the chair. If we're lying down, it might be the back of the thighs against the bed or the floor. Looking for this quality of yielding. And the buttocks yielding into the support if we're sitting or lying. And of course, we've come through the hips, so let's see if we can allow the legs to fall away from the hips into gravity. There can often be a lot of gripping in the hips, so letting them rest, settle. Don't need to grip onto the legs, we can allow them to be supported by gravity. Now let's come into the belly, the whole soft front of the body, between the pelvis at the bottom, the base of the ribs at the top. Resting awareness right inside. There'll be the movements and sensations of breathing. Very gentle swelling in the in-breath, subsiding on the out-breath. There's all the organs inside, full of fluids. Feeling into the pliable nature of experience in the torso. And the chest. Got the lungs filling and emptying, the ribs expanding and subsiding, breastbone being rocked by the breath. Be careful not to over focus on the breathing. It's more we're just allowing it to have its own rhythm in the chest. All the time checking that the buttocks are still soft, still yielding the body up to gravity. The whole front of the body, the belly, the chest, opening and subsiding, opening and subsiding with each breath cycle. Now allowing our awareness to pour down back into the buttocks and the back of the body, yielding, soft. And then allowing awareness to flow up inside the lower back, the curve of the spine, the breadth of the muscles. Is there any echo of breathing in this area? Maybe the shape is changing just a little bit. Maybe the angle's changing a little bit. And careful not to force or strain. Feeling sensations in the lower back, whether they're unpleasant, pleasant, dull, intense, warm, cool, buzzing, tingling, whatever it is. Feeling into the fluid nature of experience. And the middle back. And allowing awareness to pour up inside the upper back, the spine, running up the middle, back of the ribs, back of the lungs, shoulder blades, all being breathed. Now resting in the whole back of the body, the whole length, the whole breadth. Now let's allow our awareness to flow into the shoulders on either side of the body. Allowing the arms to fall away from the shoulders into gravity and having the hands supported somehow or other. So we can have a felt sense of letting go of gripping in the shoulders. Allowing the shoulders to fall away from the midline of the body into gravity. And the arms falling out of the shoulders. Allowing awareness to flow down inside the arms. the upper arms and the elbows and the lower arms, the wrists, the hands, fingers, thumbs. Receiving everything into awareness, all the tingling, the buzzing, the sensations. Really training in releasing habits of contracting around the unpleasant, solidifying it, pushing it away, and contracting around the pleasant, solidifying and chasing after it. If we can rest inside the fluid and changing nature of experience, we can liberate ourselves from this aversion and this grasping, find greater ease, peace, happiness. Now allowing our awareness to flow back up through the arms, through the shoulders, into the head, then the neck and the face. If we're upright, seeing if we can let the head be poised on the top of the neck. Chin drawn in just a tiny bit. Openness in the base of the skull. We're lying down, letting the head be fully supported by the pillow or the cushion. Again, we're practicing letting go of habits of gripping. Let the head rest. Let the lips, tongue, jaw be soft. Cheeks soft. Eyes soft. And the brain inside the head, nearly 80% water. Lots of flow in the brain. You won't feel this directly, but I find it really helpful to imagine. So if your brain's feeling a bit desiccated and full of thoughts crashing about, you can imagine it's a great river. Fluid. Thoughts less solid. Even the thoughts are changing all the time. You can see them as leaves floating down an autumn stream, and we're on the bank of the stream. Our awareness isn't getting swept away. Let the thoughts come and go, come and go within this loving field of awareness. And now let's broaden our awareness to be aware of the whole body. All together, the legs, torso, arms, neck, head, face. This body that we relate to usually as a thing, static, rigid, tight, painful perhaps. Body is just a label for this great flow of experience. It's arising and passing all the time. Of course, we've got our emotions and our thoughts all taking place in this fluid way. So we'll have a few moments now of silence where we can rest with this kind of Velcro awareness. We release habits of stickiness, pushing away the unpleasant, grabbing hold of the pleasant. Seeing if we can allow everything to arise and pass, arise and pass. We notice a stickiness and we release again and again. Now let's begin to transition out of stillness into movement, but doing it with this deeply embodied awareness. So we don't shoot out of the body, staying inside flow, beginning to bring a bit of movement, maybe into the hands, the feet, whatever's comfortable, and notice what happens to your breathing. You might immediately start gripping around the breath. See if you can keep the breath soft. So we've got thoughts, emotions, body flowing, movement flowing. And then in our own way, in our own time, coming into bigger movements. Whatever feels right for you right now. Good. Good. Really wonderful to be with you all. Thanks for coming and practicing with Mark and I. Wonderful. So usually I stay on at the end and people share what they noticed, but given the situation with the health of my housemates, all of whom I've left in various states of poorliness to come over to my shepherd's hut, I think I'm just going to go and take my more fluid and more loving awareness back home and see what I can do to help, which is not much, but I can hopefully do something. Ah, good. So let's just leave it there for tonight, everybody, and go well, please. Look after yourselves, and we'll see you next week. And it's wonderful to be back. Lovely to see you all. Yeah. Bye bye.
Bye, everyone.